Hi guys, this is a screencast to show you very quickly how to make a title page. What I'm working with today is I'm working directly with your page that you have created in your Google Docs, or that I suggested that you create in your Google Docs, where you're just listing the references that you've been looking up, okay? And remember, I said keep track of your websites, keep track of your textbooks, keep track of anything that you're using, put it on a Google Doc, at least document it on there, and then you can go back later and you can make a reference page. So that's what we're actually going to work with this document here. Now, if you're making a PowerPoint, which most of you are, then you are going to do your title and your references on your PowerPoint slides, and I'll show you how to do that as far as references go in the next screencast. This one is just in particular showing you how to create a title page. I'm going to use Google Docs. However, if you're doing that PowerPoint, you're going to follow kind of the same guidelines, and I'll make a couple of points out when we're talking about what does that mean by a couple of the same guidelines. Okay, so when we're working with Google Docs, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make this sources page that I've been kind of creating, listing my sources, and I'm gonna make a page in front of that, and I'm just gonna do a title. So I'm gonna pretend that I'm actually writing a story or a paper, and I'm using this particular document to do so. So what I'm gonna do is I'm automatically gonna put my sources on my next page down. I'm gonna make sure that my page setup is in portrait. Mine always defaults to landscape. I've never changed it. And so now I'm going to start with a blank page, but notice there's all my web pages that I've been using to find my information out. I actually stole those from Maggie, and I'll talk about that in this slide and the next slide, but this slide in particular is only for a title page. So if I'm making a PowerPoint title page, I'm just going to pick a title slide to work with. So I can come up with whatever title I want. I'm going to have my name on that slide. Preferably, I want to put my due date on that slide as well. This is 2017. Your due date for your class is May 4th, 2017. So if it's no longer 2017 and you're watching this, you're going to have a different due date. But what you'll pretend for right now is that the due date is right now, May 4th. So you're going to see me put that on there. So here is my first page. I'm going to make a title since I'm going to write a paper or a story. Again, your PowerPoint slide, you get to be a little bit more creative. If you're doing just a paper or a story, you need to follow just a little bit of guidelines on this Google Doc. So the very first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a page number because this is going to be a multi-page document. I can choose however I'd like to do that. I can make it at the top of the page or the bottom of the page. In my master's program right now, we use the top of the page, so I'm just going to follow suit with that. You can choose however you want to do that, but you're going to do that in insert and page number, and you'll just choose whichever format you want. It puts it in a header. You're just going to click out of that. Okay, I want to come up here. I want to change to Times New Roman. I want it to be 12 font, and I'm also going to find where I can center justify, which is right here, and I'm going to double space it. Now, Google is, I guess, trying to confuse everybody. Instead of just labeling very easily all of their tools, they're putting symbols. And the crazy thing is those symbols are not following along with what the symbol is supposed to be for. So, and it seems to be changing. Every time I get on Google Docs, I'm finding a different symbol for things like, for example, this right here, these justifications. It says center. This little box tells me in no way to center justify. I'm not sure, so you've got to highlight them. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move down to about the top to mid of the page, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second.
Mom.
Okay, so hang on. What do you have? Hang on, see, just a second. Okay, so I'm kind of at the top to mid of the page. I'm going to scroll out so you can see what I'm talking about. Here's my entire page. And again, I've got to make sure that it's center justified, which it is. Just one second. And I'm going to scroll down, I don't know, maybe about to the top mid of the page, and I'm going to put my title. What happened to Pluto? Okay, there's my title that my project's going to be. Now, Notice what happened and Pluto are capitalized, but to is not capitalized. Anytime you're doing a title, those minor words, you're not going to capitalize those. I'm going to return once. Again, I've got it set on double spacing. I'm going to put my name, and then I'm going to return, and I'm going to put the due date on there, okay? So if you're making a PowerPoint slide, you're going to have your title, your name, and you're going to put your due date on there. Now, when you move into high school, when you move into college, you're going to have more components that you're going to be putting, such as the name of your class. But for right now, we're just getting comfortable with just coming up with a title, putting our due date, putting our name, things like that. Okay, so this is your title page. Like I said, if you're doing, and now if I'm going to write my paper, if I'm going to start writing my story, I'm just going to go down to the next page. I'm going to left justify it, and I'm going to start typing here. Again, you're going to indent, of course, and it's already double spaced for you. But this is your title, and so you're ready to go. Your document's ready. You've got your title page, and look, there are my references that I'm going to eventually build a reference page out of. So that's ready to go for you. I'm going to come up here, though, and I am going to rename this title and reference page science project. And then that way I can easily find it. I know that I have my title, I have my references, and I can copy and paste, and then I can build my paper or my story in the middle of it. So if you have any questions, just let me know. And make sure that you watch the second video that goes along with this, where I'm actually going to construct a reference page or slide. I'll probably do it in Google Slides. That way it'll show you what your reference slides needs to look like.